Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Wolf and today I'm gonna play 60 Seconds Reatomized. That's right, I'll scavenge for supplies, rescue my family, or some of it, and I'll ride out the apocalypse in my fallout shelter, or die horribly. Difficult decisions are waiting to be made. But before I decide on anything, I want to remind you guys to smash those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy the video and want to help me and the channel. I think I hear a siren. Okay. Gotta hurry. Soup. Water, my rifle. Some people usually go for the family first, but I'm not that kind of guy, you know? Get the kid, okay. Get his sister. No, I can't. Come here. Gosh darn it. Where's the wife? There she is. You, come here. Can get another bottle of water. What is that? Taking that too. I'm running out of time. What is this? Bullets. Perfect. A gas mask. I got it. Okay. I got everyone. This time. Soup. First day in the shelter. All of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. And that was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it work down here. We remember hearing canned soup is healthy for you. Yeah, for you. We vaguely remember stashing some things in the shelter because there was no room for them upstairs. Turns out being messy can really work out in your favor. Our shelves are full of cans. We'll eat from cans. We'll sleep on cans. We'll even talk to cans. Some of us already do. There's just barely enough water for everyone. We'll have to ration it strictly. Day 1. Should I give them anything? Well, water for sure. Alright, let's start off generously. How about that trip to Nevada we've been postponing for a while now? Maybe we should go there. That's our first stop after we get out of here. Yeah, sure. Right, where's the scavenging? Where's the fun stuff? Day 2. Our relocation is probably something we'll be able to discuss after we get out of here. Well, you don't say. There's nothing going on with Ted, nothing new anyway. There isn't anything new bothering Mary Jane. Dolores is fine and well, as much as anyone can be fine and well in this tiny shelter. Timmy seems okay, as much as he can be in our current situation. Alright. Well, nobody's getting anything today. Ted is happy to risk his life in the waste, okay. It looks like the area is still irradiated. Going to wasteland right now is unsafe unless you don't mind getting sick. Well, Ted, sorry buddy. There are only so many things you can do in a tiny bunker, so we thought, hey, why not play some games? They're not just for kids, you know. That's right. Day 3. Look at all this stuff. I got a map, a gun, bullets, an axe. What is that? Oh, the Boy Scout handbook and a gas mask. Well, that's actually not as much as I thought, but okay. Right. What is this little guy keep staring at? The Boy Scout manual? Whoop. I think so. Alright, anyway. Day 3. We played Truth or Dare. When it turned out, we only kept asking questions, and the most common was, are we going to eat anything besides tomato soup? Probably not. We decided that's enough games for now. Ted is not complaining today, at least not very much. Mary Jane isn't worried, or at least she's not saying so out loud. Well, her name's Mary Jane, she's supposed to be chill, right? Everything seems okay with Dolores. Timmy seems okay as much as he can be in our current situation. Yeah, great. Alright, now you can eat and drink some water. We're feeling pretty optimistic about today's expedition. The only thing left to do is choose the right person to go outside. Well, Ted, what to take outside? Maybe a gas mask. Although I'm not sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Day 4. Uh-oh. Where's Ted? Ted left for the surface. We hope he'll be back soon. Yeah, he took the gas mask with him. Mary Jane says she's fine and doesn't need anything. Life is hard for all of us right now, but Dolores is in a good mood today. We hope it'll stay this way. Like the good scout he is, Tim is making the best out of the situation. He seems cheerful. Well, you all ain't getting anything today. We were never huge fans of mushrooms, but with a colony of them growing on one of the walls, we've changed our loyalties. We're all about mushrooms now. Should we eat them? Hell no. What's wrong with you people? Eating mushrooms from the wall? What? Day 5. We may be hungry, but there are some things we will never eat. Wall fungus is one of them. There you go, smart people. Mary Jane didn't cause any trouble today, and no trouble dared to cross her path. Today was relatively calm for Dolores. Nothing new to report on Timmy. Well, you guys gotta eat. And have some water. Or, you know, some nasty stuff happens. What to do? Mary Jane has been dropping hints that it's a special day for her today. We had to think about it hard, and after eliminating your average festivities, the anniversary of that great barbecue we had 3 years ago, and International Popcorn Day, we realized she was talking about her birthday. That means we need to get her a gift. Well, we don't have any gifts. You get a heartfelt congratulations. Day 6. Ooh, soup. Yummy. Mary Jane is too old for birthdays, that's what we think. It's impressive how well Mary Jane is handling the situation. She looks fine today. Day's been fine for Dolores thus far. Like the good scout he is, Timmy's making the best out of this situation. He even seems cheerful. Well, they're all fine today. We've discussed everything we could do and no one is willing to chat anymore. The silence is really disturbing. We should do something before we start talking to ourselves instead. Oh, I didn't find the radio. They might go crazy. Day 7. You fellas don't look so good. You okay there, little buddy? Where's Ted? Day 7, there's nothing here. Maybe if we try really hard, we can hear the neighbors in their shelter. Mary Jane is really tired. Dolores is really tired. Timmy's really tired. Sure, okay. What to do? There isn't a lot of space down here. We can smell everything. When one of the wall bricks got loose today and revealed a hole, we felt pretty sick. It's the smell coming from the hole. It's terrible. Should we investigate and remove the source of this stench? Yes. Let's try that. Day 8. We looked into the hole, fearing something might come at us with claws, fangs, or other mutated and sharp body parts, but nothing happened. Instead, we found a dead rat who was trying to break into a can of tomato soup. He failed miserably. We have a feeling we'll be luckier than him, so we confiscated it. We gave the rat a proper burial in an empty can. He deserved that much. Mary Jane seems sleepy all the time. She has no energy for anything. Dolores needs more time to rest. She seems exhausted. Timmy needs to rest a bit longer. They all need to rest. Sure, cool. But you don't have water. Well, you won't have food either. We could have sworn that huge puddle of water wasn't there earlier. And there goes another one. Oh, damn it. We're getting flooded. Let's grab some of our supplies before they start floating. Well, yeah, I can grab the map. That's all I got. Oh, he's back. He is back. Day 9. Well, that was lucky. The shelter filled with water pretty rapidly, and we were certain we were going to drown. With our heads barely above the water, we weren't even able to open the hatch and escape. Before we could start considering the worst, the water level started to drop. We're fine, save for the mess we needed to deal with. Ted has safely returned from his voyage to the surface. The proud Ellison Hotel was completely destroyed. Piles and piles of luggage were lying between heaps of rubble. Only a few rooms on lower levels partially survived. Now we know the secret of their restaurant chef. It's tomato soup. No wonder they were a 5-star hotel. Obviously. Every room was stocked with water bottles for guests. A few of them remained relatively untouched by the explosion. So I got 1 soup, 1 bottle of water, and what was left of one of the rooms. 2 figures were playing chess. One was a skeleton and the other was a man in some kind of metal armor. They gave us their chessboard, claiming they have a spare one. Only when we walked away did we discover they gave us checkers instead of chess. What a sick joke. Okay, so I got a checkers board. Cool. Mary Jane seems sleepy all the time. She has no energy for anything. Dolores is still tired and can't seem to sleep it off. Timmy needs to rest for a bit longer. Ted's stomach is rumbling. Ted is really tired. Alright, water and soup for everyone. Should we go outside? Our neighborhood is still highly radioactive. Trips to the surface are a big risk to our health right now. And apparently I can't send any of them outside. Right, what to do then? If there's anyone who can rescue us from this hellish situation, it's our government. You can badmouth them all you want, but that probably means you're either a naysayer or a commie. We're good citizens. We've been paying our taxes regularly, so we're sure Uncle Sam is coming to get us. Well, except that one time when we... Never mind. The government people are coming, and we should keep our ears and eyes open for any sign of them. Well, I made it day 10. Day 10. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use a radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcast that might be transmitted in our area. Well, tough luck. It's either that or it's strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. Ted's stomach is rumbling. Ted is still tired. A few days of rest is what he needs. Mary Jane seems sleepy all the time. I mean, Mary Jane. You know what? Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep around here. Timmy still hasn't rested. What is it with these people and their resting habits? I'm out of water. Which kinda sucks. Ted's gonna get some water and... Yeah, you can get some water. Ted and Dolores. Okay, now we're in trouble. We woke up today feeling very uncomfortable. It was like someone or something was watching us. We could have sworn we noticed movement in the shadows. If anything besides us is alive in the bunker, it's time to teach it who's the boss around here. Well, let's go with the axe. Because I got 2 options, the rifle or the axe. with the axe. Should we go outside? Should we? Ted is too weak. Dolores is a death sentence. We don't think Mary Jane should go outside. Alright, you know what? I think we're about to die. What's next? Acquire a radio to make further contact with the military. Cool. Day 11. Well, at least they're all still alive. Whatever it was, it's dead now. Quite dead. Maybe there's more hiding somewhere in one of those nasty little holes. Ted is hungry. Ted is still mighty tired and needs more time to recover his strength. Mary Jane seems sleepy all the time. She has no energy for anything. Dolores complains she still can't get a good night's sleep around here. And Timmy keeps falling asleep in his chair. Why? What on earth is going on? Make contact with other wastelanders. Ring ring, there we were, thinking we would never hear a telephone signal again when suddenly a phone starts ringing from somewhere outside. We figured it's the phone booth across the street. Should someone go answer it? Of course. Ted, get out there. Get out there, buddy. Hold on. I'm out of supplies. And I'm out of water. And that sucks. Day 12. When we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town of Hill Valley. We had started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their side. We hope they will get back to us. Ted is still mighty tired. Ted isn't hungry anymore. Mary Jane is tired. She becomes cranky. Oh no. She should be better in a few days, I bet. Timmy keeps falling asleep in his chair. Some water for Timmy would be nice. Well, guess what? We have none. Dolores has rested. Water is all Dolores wants. Well, what can I tell you guys? Soup for only 2 people, huh? Alright. Should we go outside? Dolores is the only one who can go outside. Alright. Somebody has to go outside. We were admiring the radioactive landscape when we saw a young woman dressed in ragged camo clothing. She had a nasty looking rifle, but she hailed us in a polite enough manner. She claims to be a hunter tracking a big mutated spider. She ran out of ammo and told us that if we were to help her out, she would pay us back in a while. Cool, give her some bullets. Or we're gonna get killed, I mean. Await further instruction from friendly wastelanders. Cool. All wastelanders are friendly, I bet. Day 13. She could have hurt us, but she didn't. That counts for something, so we rewarded her with our spare ammo. Let's see if she keeps her word. When Mary Jane is tired, she becomes cranky. She should be better in a few days. Mary Jane is very thirsty and has to drink something. Timmy still hasn't rested. Timmy is in terrible shape. We need to give him water now. Well, I don't have any water. Or soup, or anything for that matter. Ted, time to go outside, little buddy. And you're taking... what are you taking? The rifle. Day 14. Ted left for the surface. We hope he'll be back soon, or not. Mary Jane's sleepy. Mary Jane keeps fainting. Dolores will not survive without water any longer. Tim is in terrible shape. And he still hasn't rested. Okay. Nobody will eat today. The other day we heard a quiet knock on our door, but when we opened we only found a suitcase on the doorstep and there was no one around. It isn't signed, but it sure looks like it's meant for us. Should we check what's inside? Hell yeah. Well, well, well. Look at you. We were hoping it would be a bouquet of beautiful flowers or maybe a box of fine Belgian chocolates, but apparently we can't have it all. We will put those items to good use anyway. A flashlight. Mary Jane keeps fading. What is it with the fainting? If we only had a few drops of water, we could have avoided what happened. Dolores died of dehydration last night. Lack of water drove Timmy insane. He opened the shelter door and ran away without looking back. He's not likely to return. Oh, so he didn't die. Well, no supplies, sorry. What to do? Our town used to be a very quaint and friendly place before the blast. One of the townsfolk we often recall is the old man Jim, who would sometimes limp through our street. Turns out he's alive and well and still homeless. I mean, yeah. Some things never change. Yeah, he clearly misses us as much as we miss him. He's been banging on our shelter door for the past few hours, asking whether we want to buy a rock. I don't want to buy no rock. Well, something happened. We did the only reasonable thing in this situation, which is to shout really loud that nobody's home. Makes sense. The old man soon left and didn't bother us anymore. We don't remember having a collection of skulls hanging on the remains of our white fence, but it didn't seem that suspicious. We got a bit worried when someone started shooting at us. We realized something is profoundly wrong when a band of half-naked, crazed raiders jumped out of the ruins and chased us away. Tough luck. When Mary Jane found out she's not getting a single drop of water, she got furious. She stormed out into the wasteland, shouting over her shoulder that we'll regret this and that she's getting her water one way or another. We are seriously terrified right now. Who's we? Of all places we could have perished, this is probably the best one, or maybe not. We survived for 21 days. Well, that's not bad, right? 21 days? So on day 16, thirst drove Mary Jane away, and on day 21, our shelter got raided. You were driven away. Well, 21 days was pretty good, wasn't it? I think it was. Guess it's time for adventure number 2, huh? Hell yeah. Come on. Alright. What's this? I don't know what that is. This is a flashlight. Cool. In you go. Med pack. Excellent. Water. The kid. My wife. The other kid. Come here, kid. Gosh darn it. There's no time. Where's the wife? I got the wife. Come here. No. Oh no, I will fail one of the kids. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Come here. Oh no, that's a water bottle. Come here, kid. No. You perished. Why? Damn it. 2 of them were in the bunker. Alright, a flashlight. Checkers. Water. Map. Oh no, where the... Here it is. Kid. Come here. Soup. Perfect. Kid. Rifle. Where's the wife? No, where is she? There she is. Water, wife. Water. Out of the way. I don't have time for this. Soup. Yaks. I'm out of here. Now that was way better. Day 1. Well, look at this stuff. I forgot the radio, but I didn't even see the radio. Or if I did, well. Day 1. All of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. That was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it work down here. You remember hearing canned soup is healthy for you. Our shelter used to be fully stocked, but somehow we always found a better way to use the stock supplies instead of leaving them for an emergency. Once we had a soup dinner party. Another time we needed the rifle to help our neighborhood watch in a vicious fight against raccoons. Luckily, some of the supplies were left untouched. What is this? Our shelves are full of cans. We'll eat from cans, we'll sleep on cans, we will talk to cans. Some of us already do. There's just barely enough water for everyone. We'll have to ration it strictly. Well, nobody gets anything today. We have been busy since we got the shelter, but there's still much to be done, like trimming that shrubbery in our yard. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely something we want to do when we get out of here. Noted. That shrubbery. Day 2. Planning far ahead is usually a good strategy, but for now we should be more interested in our plan for water rationing. There isn't much going on with Ted, no trouble, nothing new. Mary Jane is feeling safe. Who wouldn't in this coffin-sized shelter? Today was relatively calm for Dolores. Timmy's good. Well, at least he was 5 minutes ago. They're all good. Well, well, well. Who should we send on a trip? Mary Jane will go on a trip. A group of doctors knocked on our door today, requesting some supplies that would be helpful in refilling their first aid kits. We didn't doubt they were the real deal for a second. They did have lab coats and everything. Shall we help them? Well, no. No. No thanks. Thank you, but no thank you. What is this scam? They're not even real doctors. No way we're giving these crooks anything. Ted is really thirsty. Water is what Mary Jane needs most right now. There's one thing we need, it's water for... Okay, they all want water. Cool. They all get water. Who should go outside? Dolores. With a flashlight. Or a rifle. Let's send her with the rifle. Perfect. Day 4. I'm feeling confident this time. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. Ted is no longer thirsty. Mary Jane and Timmy no longer thirsty. Everything's good. We woke up to a dripping sound today and noticed there's something leaking from the pipes. That green liquid looked innocent enough, even after they threw the table, and the chair, and the floor. Patching up that pipe is probably a good idea. Probably, but I have nothing to patch it up with. Let me guess, I'm gonna die of radiation. What in God's green earth is that? And how do we kill it? Day 5. You know, I was hoping for a better outcome. I really was. We couldn't figure it out, so we just assumed that's what the regular pipe would do in the event of a nuclear apocalypse and decided to ignore it. Well, actually, I didn't have anything for it, but okay. We've been feeling a little bit funny today, though. Probably no connection to the pipe. None whatsoever. What the hell? Mary Jane went to her bed her normal self, and now she's all mutated. Oh, Mary Jane, what happened to you? Ted says there's no need to worry about him. He's okay. There isn't anything new bothering Mary Jane. Timmy's good. Well, at least he was 5 minutes ago. But now we have big problems. What am I going to do with the mutated Mary Jane? We had the most curious visitors today. One of them was making the sound of a galloping horse using a pair of rocks and hitting them against each other, while his companion was pretending to ride said horse. They claimed to be on a very important quest to seek some magical cup, only they lost their way in the wasteland. They asked permission to have a quick look at our map to determine their whereabouts. Hell no. Day 6. Mary Jane, I don't know. I'm afraid she's gonna eat us. Although we tried to decline politely, the guests were clearly offended. They galloped away, waving their wooden swords and screaming something about cutting down shrubberies. Absolutely crazy. Ted needs water. Timmy needs water. Mary Jane says she's fine and doesn't need anything. Well then, you don't need anything. You don't need anything. Some soup couldn't hurt. What to do? We decided to have some fun today and play a game or two. The first one was picking the game we were going to play. This took us most of the day and we still haven't made up our minds. It makes perfect sense. Day 7. We thought playing the silent game would be a good idea. The silence was too annoying and we quickly stopped. Ted isn't thirsty, Mary Jane is hungry, and Timmy's not thirsty. Okay. Food for Mary Jane. Some soup. What to do? Our hideout was approached by a man we didn't know. He claimed he used to be an accountant, but now he survives as a trader and a gambler. He offered us a card game for a bet of 2 water bottles. Shall we play? No, because we don't have cards. Day 8. Gambling is a terrible habit. What kind of example is that to set the kids? We need supplies, but we're not getting them like that. We'd sooner rob someone. We send the man away. Good riddance. Mary Jane's not hungry. Ted's not complaining. And Timmy's good. Timmy! What to do? If there's one sure way to get our attention, it's definitely banging on our shelter door. Whoever it is, they're quite persistent. They've been at it for the past 5 minutes. Should we open? Sure, why not? What can happen? What's the worst that can happen? I got a mutant in here with me. Well. Someone started shooting at us. We closed the hatch as quickly as we could, but a shot or two grazed us. All Ted wishes for is a little bit of water. Timmy got hurt. Some water for Timmy would be nice. Mary Jane didn't cause any trouble today, and no trouble did cross her path. Well, Timmy's hurt, which is not good. Alright, let's give Ted some water. Timmy needs some water. And Mary Jane's fine. What in the hell are those sounds? Are they coming from the goddamn walls? They're driving us crazy. Is something crawling in the air vents? Relax. Take a deep breath. We should probably calm down before we start turning them down. Maybe try something relaxing for a bit. Yeah, checkers. Day 10. Oh god. Having some fun made us forget about, what was it again? We were glad to see Dolores come back safely from the wasteland. We never liked people who boarded long-distance buses with baggage full of food, especially the kind that smelled bad. But in our current situation, we would be more than happy to find suitcases filled with canned soup, or even some smelly cheese. Our local athletics team was preparing to depart for a championship taking place somewhere in the boondocks. Their bus was full of refreshing water and spare shoes. Unfortunately, none of them were a match for us, so we just took all the water bottles. We spotted some sort of vehicle just down the street, but we couldn't get a good enough look at it in the dark. Maybe future expeditions will prove more fruitful. It's going to take a while for Timmy's wounds to heal on their own. Well, at least he's not gonna die. Tim is not thirsty, Ted is good, Dolores wants to eat, and she's tired and she's ill. And Mary Jane's fine. Problem is, we need a med pack. We need a med pack or two. Our neighborhood is still highly radioactive. Okay, let's send Ted. We've discussed everything we could do and no one is willing to chat anymore. The silence is really disturbing. Well, it is what it is. We ain't got no radio. Day 11. There's nothing here. Maybe if we try really hard, we can hear the neighbors in their shelter. Dolores is hungry and is still quite ill, and tired, and thirsty. Hungry. It's high time we did something about Timmy's. Well, we can't do anything. Okay, you know what? Food and water for everyone. Because I'm feeling generous. Mary Jane's the only one who can go outside. Go. Go, Hulk. Return with goods. Day 12. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. Ted is still mighty tired and needs some more time to recover his strength. Ted isn't hungry. We can't just sit around while Dolores is so sick. Dolores needs more time to rest. She seems exhausted. Well, Timmy's wounds aren't getting any better, so yeah, he hasn't rested. He's no longer hungry. So they're all fine, but I don't have a med pack. We didn't expect to get a phone call so soon after the atomic bomb dropped, yet here we are. We can clearly hear a phone ringing outside. It must be the public phone booth on the other side of the street. Should someone go answer it? Well, the only capable one is Ted. Go and see who is it. When we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town of Hill Valley. Okay, Hill Valley again. We started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their side. We hope they will get back to us. Ted is still tired. Of course he is. Dolores is still quite ill. Of course she is. More time to rest. She seems exhausted. Timmy's wounds aren't getting any better. The other day, we heard a quiet knock on our door, but when we opened, we only found a suitcase on the doorstep and there was no one around. It isn't a sign, but it sure looks like it was meant for us. Should we check what's inside? Yes. Day 14. Great, now everyone's sick. Inside the suitcase, we found some soup, but yuck, it expired a long time ago. We're not feeling very well. Some of us spend the whole morning using the bucket in a corner. We're not accepting anonymous gifts ever again. Ted is still tired. If Ted doesn't drink anything, he won't last long. Ted got sick. Okay. So, Ted needs water. And Dolores needs water and food. Well, I can't treat Timmy. Or Ted. Right. You know what? Just water and food for everyone. Yeah. We can keep sitting on our backsides here in this tiny little bunker, or we can start thinking about getting away as far as possible from this radioactive wasteland. Would have thought the Reds would ruin such a lovely neighborhood. We could do it on our own. The escaping part, not the running part, of course. However, there might still be someone out there who can help us. Let's keep our eyes and ears open, but we have no radio. Await further instructions from friendly wastelanders. Day 15. Here we go. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use a radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcast that might be transmitted in our area. It's either that or strolling around outside when they get picked up. First option sounds a bit more sane. Ted is still sick. Ted still hasn't recovered his energy, but he isn't thirsty anymore, so that's good. We can't just sit around while Dolores is so sick. Dolores has rested. No longer thirsty, no longer hungry. There is no time. Timmy has to be treated for his injuries before it's too late. Well, well, well. It might be too late. Alright, there's never a good time to go out in the radioactive wasteland, but it seems this would become a necessity in this new world of ours. We thought it would be a good idea to make this happen sooner rather than later, and planned a trip outside. Before we could make the third step beyond the shelter doors, an unknown creature started growling at us in the darkness. We had only moments to decide what to do. Rifle. Day 16. Quick shot with the rifle was more than enough to scare away or maybe bring down whatever creatures stalked us in the darkness. We never saw it again. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to the shelter from the surface. She tried to say something and she brought a gas mask. And 2 water bottles. Something should be done about Ted's sickness. Mary Jane is hungry. Things are not looking up for us. They're looking down. Should we go outside? The wasteland is no match for Mary Jane, and that is true. As we were about to start a book club discussion on the only book we've all read, the phone book, we were interrupted by rapid knocking at the door. We found out it was a group of refugees who survived the blast just like we did. They were doing much worse than us and begged us to provide them with any water, food, or medical supplies we could spare. Can give them some water, I guess. Or should I? Let's give them some water. Day 17. Well, someone's missing. Our visitors had problems finding enough words to express their gratitude. Many tears were shed, smiles and hugs exchanged, and they wished us all the best. It's a great feeling to be helping someone out. They left soon after to seek shelter in the ruins of our town. We hope they made it out there. -1 water. Ted is sick. Ted is tired. Ted wants water. Mary Jane is hungry. Alright, we couldn't do anything about Timmy's wounds. They got worse and worse until eventually he got fed up and left. Because that's what anyone does. If you're wounded and your wounds get worse and worse, just leave. All that remains of him is a note explaining that we are lousy parents and that we'll be back when he becomes the warlord of the wasteland. Alright, water for Ted, food for Mary Jane, water for Dolores. We need to make a choice for today's expedition. Which one of us will be best fit to face the wasteland and survive? Mary Jane, obviously. She's a mutant. My God, they're still alive. A traveling salesman paid us a visit today. He introduced himself as Willie. Willie. Good name. Catchy. Apparently business can do well even after the end of the world. Let's see now. Willie offers 1 soup for 1 deck of cards. I don't have cards. 1 water in exchange for 1 checkers board. Nope. 2 soups for 1 gas mask. 4 water in exchange for 1 rifle. You know what? You can have the gas mask and give me the 2 soups. Day 21. We made a deal with the salesman and helped him pack. He strolled away into the wasteland like he knew exactly where he was going to go next. Something should be done about Ted's sickness. Well, you know, we've been having this conversation for the past 10 days. Ted isn't thirsty, he isn't hungry. Dolores' health has not improved, but she's no longer thirsty. So they're good. What to do? Well, I still don't have a radio, so there's nothing to do. Await further instructions from friendly wastelanders or acquire a radio to make further contact with the military. Mary Jane is our only hope. A young man knocked on our door today asking for help. He said he has been watching us for a while and he believes we're good and decent people. Although he hoped we would meet in different circumstances, he could really use our help now. The mission is rescuing his twin sister when missing while trying to infiltrate a nearby bandit camp. He promises it will be worth our while. Who should go outside? Well, obviously Ted or nobody at all. Do I still have that rifle? But he's sick. I don't know. I might have just killed Ted. Let's see what happened. Day 23. The young man was assisted by a group of other survivors, all armed but really friendly. We found the girl, threw her a weapon, and fought off the bandits guarding the exit. Siblings were happy to be reunited, but also very confused. Turns out the bandit leader is actually their father. Crazy, small world we live in. Anyway, they were really thankful and promised to contact us again soon. Something should be done about Ted's sickness. Yeah, again. Ted wants water, and Dolores both food and water. Dolores. What to do? Enough of this plain tasteless water. Dolores is really craving a cup of coffee. Real, true, blue American coffee, the kind that you can drink 5 cups and still feel sleepy. But where are we going to find that in this wasteland? Well, Dolores' favorite diner is, used to be a few blocks away. Maybe someone should go on a coffee run, but who? I should send you, Dolores. Alright, Ted, do you think you're up to it? Let's see. Day 24. A volunteer came back empty-handed. Apparently the diner is now just a sad hole in the ground with some seats lying around. What a letdown. Hear that? It sounds like a herd of animals are stampeding just above our heads, across what used to be our beautiful lawn. They're not getting away with that, and might be a perfect opportunity to get some fresh food. Who should go hunting? Okay. Ted again. Sorry, buddy. You're the only one who can do it. The only one who can do it. Day 25. Well. Look who came back. Well, if we ever had a bad idea, this excursion definitely made it the top 5 list. Everything was going well until we realized that it's a velociraptor. What? A velociraptor herd. Or something that looked like one. Even if they weren't, their hunger for flesh was equal to that of the dinosaurs. Our expedition discovered this the hard way. So Ted died and he lost a rifle. Excellent. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to shelter from the surface. 1 soup, 2 water. Mary Jane's hungry. Another expedition? Sure, why not? Mary Jane is made of steel. For an isolated fallout shelter, we sure have a lot of disturbances. Something has been making a lot of noise since dawn and we couldn't sleep. It seems to be coming from under the floor. And coincidentally, we just found a manhole that we could use to go down and check what's going on. Axe. What the hell? We barely made it out alive. It was a giant mutated crocodile, or an alligator, or something else with a giant mouth and plenty of teeth. Is anyone hurt? Nobody's hurt, that's good. Let's send down Mary Jane again. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. A sleazy looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulders paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal. For just 1 can of soup, we get the bag and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside, and the trader gives us angry glances every time we take a step towards the mysterious bag. Should we make a deal? No. Day 28. Our grandparents always told us to never buy anything sight unseen, and we're not about to start now. Gone are the times of yard sales. We can manage without whatever junk is in that mysterious bag. Day 29. If there is one thing we need to do, is to... What? Again with the radio? There is a man on our doorstep and he wants to be our friend. At least that's what he says. He looks harmless, although he seems to have acquired an extra pair of arms as a result of some weird mutation. Well, look at Mary Jane, what can I say? He assures us we will not get sick and asks for our help if we could provide him and his group with some supplies. They would repay us by helping us fight off the next raiding party that comes our way. Should we accept his offer? Sure, water, that's all you get. Day 30. Whether it was pity or just fear of bandits, we're not sure, but in the end we agreed to his terms. We will be calmer knowing that someone else is looking out for us, especially someone with so many arms. Surviving down here is no walk in the park. It won't get easier. We're hopeful this will blow over soon and life will get back to what it used to be, or else we might face dangers we've never dreamt of. Day 31. It's easy to feel a bit down when living underground like this. No sunshine, no sky. We need to get rid of that pessimism and try to bring some cheerfulness into our lives. We haven't done anything about Dolores' sickness. You don't say! We were admiring the radioactive landscape when we saw a young woman dressed in rigged camo clothing. She had a nasty looking rifle, but she hailed us in a polite enough manner. She claims to be a hunter tracking a big mutated spider. She ran out of ammo and told us that if we were to help her out, she would pay us back in a while. Well, we don't have any bullets, so we can't help her. We don't have anything, actually. Day 32. There she is. The one and only Mary Jane. An armed person who murders things for a living? Giant mutated spiders in our neighborhood? We don't want to have anything to do with that stuff. Goodbye, lady. And nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to the shelter from the surface. She brought 1 can of soup and 2 bottles of water. Mary Jane's hungry, Dolores is still ill, wants water and food. Ooh. Perfect. Well, supplies is from Mary Jane again. The siblings are back just like they promised and they're asking for our help. Their group is too big to fit where they currently reside, so they want to build a small camp nearby. They could really use someone with able hands and an axe to work on house construction. We got an axe. Day 33. It took a few hours, but we managed to chop everything they asked us to, and even a bit more. Everybody was really grateful, and we got a lot of friendly pats on the back. Helping people and working together sure is a nice feeling. We hope we get to visit our friends in their new home one day. Mary Jane could use a little food. And that's about it, huh? I'm gonna give Mary Jane some food. And send her on a scavenging run. Day 34. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. These are dire circumstances we find ourselves in. Supplies are running low, and if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else will. We know for a fact that one of our neighbors had a shelter with a broken trapdoor, and there might be some supplies inside. Of course, there's a chance the neighbor and her kids managed to get there in time, but we could really use whatever they have. And we're stronger. Should we pay them a visit? I mean, you know what? No. How about no? What if she made it and she's gonna kill me? Day 35. Robbing innocent people? Absolutely not. We are not savages. We cannot stoop that low. It's important to keep our values even in these troubled times, especially in these troubled times. Let's set a shining example and leave these poor people alone. I still don't have a radio. Day 36. We are not alone. There's a huge, hairy bunny beast that seems to be hiding in one of the pipes. It's been poking its head out, eyeing our measly food stash. We can't let it get to it. We can't let it be in here when we sleep. Well, we have the axe. Day 37. Our cans are saved. Too bad for the hairy mutant. Guess we're still top of the food chain. Good for us. Today during breakfast we were startled when our map slid off the wall. We chucked the nails holding it, but they were all firmly in place. It could be a poltergeist. Maybe we need to perform an exorcism to get rid of it anyway. And what the? In the wall behind the map we discovered some sort of safe. We're curious as to what treasure might be inside. Should we open it? Yes. We're not sure how or why the map just decided to slide off the wall, but we're lucky that it happened. Inside the dusty safe we found some supplies. Bullets. It's hard to keep track of time down here. We can't tell if it's night or day. Our sleeping patterns are messed up. These terrible light bulbs are not helping. Too bad we can't replace them. There has to be something else we can do about this. There isn't. Day 39. Bravely ignoring our symptoms, we tried to get at least an hour or two of sleep. No luck. We're even more tired than we were, and there are other problems we will have to face soon. Let's just hope our yawning will be enough to scare raiders away or save us from radiation sickness. Our town used to be a very quaint and friendly place before the blast. One of the townsfolk we often recall is the old man Jim, who would sometimes limp through our street. Turns out he's alive and well and still homeless. Some things never change. He clearly misses us as much as we miss him. He's been banging on our shelter door for the past few hours asking whether we want to buy a rock. I don't want to buy no rock. Mary Jane's back. Mary Jane is restless and lonely. She really misses her music lessons and she would love to visit her high school again. It's a little further than Timmy's school, but it could be worth the trip. There could still be some supplies there, or maybe she runs into some other kids. It's risky, of course, but it might not be the worst idea ever, so how about it? Should she go on a walk? I mean, she's a mutant. She can do whatever she wants. Yes. Day 41. Mary Jane promised to be extra careful. Hopefully this little trip lifts her spirits. Mary Jane went outside. Let's hope she hurries back soon. Day 42. We were happy to host the siblings and a few of their friends today when they visited our shelter. We found out that their camp project has been almost completed. The houses are standing and people are slowly moving in, but there's one thing to think of: the children. and specifically their education. The kids are to grow up to be smart and able wastelanders. They need to learn, and to learn, you need books. Lots of books. Do we have any? Of course not. Day 43. We wish we were able to take some of Timmy's comics, and we miss reading our morning paper, but we have nothing of this sort in our bunker right now. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to the shelter from the surface. We're gonna start preparing an expedition for tomorrow with Mary Jane again. Mary Jane didn't find anything noteworthy in terms of supplies, but she did have a look at the school registry and found an address of her favorite music teacher. She now insists on paying him a visit. Oh god, alright. Sure, go to your teacher, sure. You're a mutant, you can do anything. Day 44. We started to worry, but Mary Jane found her way back to the shelter. There was no reason to worry about her old teacher. One thing she neglected to tell us is that he is a hardened war vet. He's doing just fine for himself. He was very happy to see Mary Jane alive and even gifted her one of his favorite harmonicas. She tried to play a little song for us but fell asleep halfway. The trip really exhausted her, but at least her mood has improved. So we got a harmonica now. Let's prepare an expedition. Day 45. This treasure hunt actually turned out to be fun, despite taking place in a radioactive dump that is our town. More importantly though, it was successful and we managed to find a small package. Whatever is in it will definitely prove useful. And we got medicine. Dolores is ill and hungry. Cool. Med pack. Soup. Mary Jane's going out to scavenge again. Day 46. Oh, look at you, all nice and bitter. Dolores was cured from her illness. We had some spare ammunition, but now it's gone. We didn't know how or when. It must have been misplaced. We need to find it, and soon. Let's use the flashlight. Found it. The ammunition clip was covered by a can. Too bad it was empty, but at least we have our bullets back. A sleazy looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulders paid us a visit. Oh, didn't he try this before? Of course he tried this before. No, we're not making any deals. Go away. Day 48. A few more hours of coughing and we'll get used to it. Our ventilation fans have halted and no fresh air seems to be circulating through the shelter. We have to fix it before we suffocate like rats trapped by a professional and very cruel rat catcher. Flashlight. Flashlight. The obvious thing to do when a vent is blocked is to check what's blocking it. However, when you shine your flashlight on a hive of mutated insects, things usually go from bad to worse. The angry hive is gone, but the insects did some biting before they fled. When someone knocked on the door, we were suspicious and cautious, but after a few minutes of talking, it turned out it was just a group of old ladies who were at a tea party not far from here when the bombs dropped. We thought it would only be good manners to talk to them face to face. When we opened the door, these old bats attacked us with their umbrellas, canes, and something that looked like a spiked table leg. We needed to fight back. Got my axe. Some axe action was enough to send those cowards running. Bet your ass they'll be back. Vermin like that are never long gone. They crawl out from the shadows when the night comes. Let's keep our axe sharp. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returning to the shelter from the surface. One food, two water. Dolores might be fit enough to scavenge outside. Nope. Poor Dolores is in bad shape. Is there anything we can do for her? Nope. Day 52. Poor Dolores, we're not optimistic. Mary Jane is quite hungry though. We're no doctors, but we should help Dolores. Her wounds are pretty bad. Well, as long as I don't get a med pack, there's nothing I can do. Mary Jane went outside. We never expected to get a waterfall of our very own in our shelter. Right now, it seems that half a dozen pipes burst and all that water is pouring right into our bunker. We need to save our supplies. Well, I only have the map. Before any of the streams squirting from the walls could hit our map, we tore it down. It was the only thing to not get wet during our little flood. After the water level had dropped, we started cleaning up. We might not finish before the next apocalypse hits. Dolores' wounds are pretty bad. The raider camp on our street has been especially maddening lately. They're acting like real savages. We won't stand for that. Somebody needs to show them that the innocent survivors of the wasteland aren't just miserable victims, and that someone should be us. That's right, I'm taking the rifle. The end. We won the battle. Those bandits were no match for us. We quickly overpowered them and forced them out of the camp. We were quite exhausted, but it was definitely worth it. We hope they won't bother us for a while. Mary Jane is quite hungry. We have lost the rifle. Dolores suffered with her injuries for far too long. When the infection spread, there was nothing we can do. We didn't make it. These are our final words and our advice to anyone who reads this. We held out for 58 days. 58 days? That's pretty good. But we still got Mary Jane here. Apparently the game doesn't care about that. I perished. Well, this has been the most successful run yet. That was fun, but some events kept repeating themselves. And I guess I've also reached the end of my episode for today. But hey, stick around. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.